You have home repairs that you're ignoring right now, and they are costing you real dollars. And the longer you wait, the bigger and more expensive those repairs will become. Well, there are 6 common home repairs that homeowners consistently ignore, and I'm going to walk you through all of them. And it all starts in your bathroom, because failed or missing silicone, if you neglect it long enough, can cause water damage in your bathrooms and in your kitchen. Over time, your silicone will fail. You may notice peeling, cracking, discoloration, or it may fall off altogether. In all of these scenarios, it's a sign that the silicone is failing and needs to be replaced. You will want to remove that and replace it as fast as possible. Those cracks, those peels, are letting water get behind the surfaces. So if you see it at the top of your bathtub or maybe in the corners of your shower, it can allow that water to creep back into those areas of your walls, which can feed mold growth over time. And if it goes long enough, it can actually cause wood rot. These repairs will cost you thousands of dollars to fix versus a $15 tube of silicone and a caulking gun, which you can take care of in minutes in your bathroom. And it's so important that I included it as item number 7 on my annual home maintenance checklist. And if you want to get a copy of that, you can hit the QR code on the screen or go to DIYhomemaintenance.com. This one is so important that I created a dedicated video for it, which I'll link to in a playlist at the end of this video, but be sure to check that out for more details. But for the next item on our list of things you're probably ignoring, we need to head to your bathroom sink. Because a slow draining bathroom sink might seem like a minor annoyance right now, but can actually be an early warning sign for a bigger issue down the road. So it's important that you take care of this now. Over time, debris that goes down your sink, hair, and all sorts of other things, especially in your bathroom, will accumulate. And in your bathroom specifically, there's 2 places where you'll usually find that blockage. Number 1 is in the drain plug itself. This will grab things like hair and hold it in place, and over time cause a larger blockage. This one is easy to fix, and you literally just have to get under the sink, pull out the control arm, remove that out of the sink, clean it off, put it back in place, and get your control arm reconnected. If that doesn't fix the issue, now you need to move under the sink to your P-trap. The P-trap is there really for one major issue, and that's to stop gas coming from your sewer back up into your sink and then coming out of the drain. That's not a good thing. But it will also catch things over time that go down your sink. To pull your P-trap off, you just have to disconnect each end, just make sure you put a nice bucket underneath it, and pull the P-trap down. When you do so, you may find some nasty, funky stuff in there, so be prepared. But clean that P-trap out thoroughly and put it back in place. When you run your water again, if you notice that there are no more issues, you should be in good shape. But if you still have a problem, this is why it's important to take care of this as early as humanly possible. If you leave this for a long period of time, debris can actually make its way through the drain, through the P-trap, and then further down the line into your plumbing and cause a bigger issue that is going to be very expensive. Now, while that doesn't happen super often, it is something that you as a homeowner want to avoid. So clean out your drains. But while we're here, let's talk about your faucet and your toilet. Because when you have a dripping faucet or a toilet that continually runs, you're taking money and throwing it right out of the window of your house, paying for water usage that you're not actually using. And these repairs are not expensive. For your faucet specifically, there's a cartridge inside that usually needs to be replaced in these scenarios. If you have a ball valve like this, you'll want to hit the pin in the back to remove the ball valve out, and then get a cartridge that is made to work with your manufacturer and your specific faucet. And you can find those online. Now, I haven't created the full video for this guy yet, but when it comes to the toilet, I've done a lot of these. There is no more annoying sound in my home than this one. That's the sound that my toilet makes when it runs by itself and I'm not in the room. And that means that one of 2 things has happened. First, there could be an issue with the fill valve. And to replace the fill valve specifically, you don't have to take the tank off. You just have to empty the tank, get all of the water out of it, turn your water off, disconnect your water supply, and replace the fill valve itself. And I did create a full-length video for this one that I'll link in the playlist at the end. Now, when it comes to the second aspect, it's the flapper in the bottom of your bulb. And this is also easy to replace. Now, if you have to do the full flush valve, I did create a video for this too, and I have another one that talks about different types of flappers and how you replace those. Doing all of this takes no more than 15 to 20 minutes once you have all of your parts, and the parts specifically are not expensive. But every time your toilet runs by itself, you are wasting money. But there's another issue in your home that you're likely ignoring, and for this one, you've got to look up. Because if you have a water stain on your ceiling or on your wall, it means that you have a situation that needs attention. The water stain doesn't mean that it's just indicative of a past event. It is indicative of something that is active and needs your attention. Even if this happened a while ago, it could have left behind soaked insulation, water damage to the framing in your home above that area, or worst case, mold as well. All three of those need to be handled before they cause a problem that's going to cost you thousands of dollars to repair. Now, I tried to simulate what the water stain might look like on your ceiling on a test panel that I have here. And I basically sat it underneath the condensation drain from our air conditioning unit, because it's hot as heck here right now and it's dripping like crazy, to show you what that can look like. But over time, as that dries, it's gonna look brown, and you may be tempted to paint over it. And can I be honest with you for a moment? Because in our last house, we had this problem. We painted over it and it came right back. And when we investigated it further, we found that we had a failed vent collar for one of our plumbing vents on our roof. That side of the house had constant sun exposure all day long, and that caused that roof vent collar to fail faster than it should have. Once we replaced it, the issue was taken care of, and thankfully, we did not have any long-term damage. But you want to address this quickly before you do. Now, you may need to cut that section of drywall out. If it's directly underneath your roof, I highly suggest calling a roofer. If there's plumbing running through that wall, I would definitely cut the section of drywall out and see what's going on behind the scenes. Once you figure out what that is, now you'll know the steps you need to take. But I say you should call a roofer if it is your roof, because DIYers should never be on a roof. It is way too dangerous and too many people get injured. Please call a roofer when you need help with your roof. And speaking of water damage, we need to head back outside. Your gutters are up high and easy to ignore as a result, but clogged or failed gutters can cause all sorts of water damage that you can't easily see. When your gutter overflows, it is pushing water back toward the house, which can cause issues with the fascia board where it's attached and the soffit behind it. Also, if it's overflowing outward, that water concentrated down next to the side of your house can cause foundation issues over time. The big challenge with that is your homeowner's policy may not cover that damage if they rule it as neglect by you. So it is important to take care of a clogged or failed gutter as soon as it happens. Now, if you can see visible issues with your gutter, maybe it's not hung straight or it's coming off of the side of your house, you'll definitely want to call a professional to come in and confirm that everything is hung appropriately or rehang your gutter as needed. But the bigger challenge is usually a clogged gutter. You will want to check your gutters periodically throughout the course of the year, at minimum 2 times per year, at the beginning of the spring and at the end of the fall. But checking them frequently is a habit you should get into, because today I actually found that there was a bird's nest covering the top of the entryway to the downspout in that gutter. So I have to pull that one out now. But if you have a gutter that is full of leaves or other debris, it is critical that you remove that debris. Remove the elbow of that gutter by removing the screws that are holding it in place and attaching it to the major part of the downspout, and pull the elbow out gently. You want to be sure not to pull that away from the house too hard and cause a problem with the gutter itself. Once you have it removed, inspect it. And this one, as you can see, is 100% clogged. You can see it from the top and the bottom being more wet than the top. Once you clear this out, inspect your downspout just to make sure there's not an issue further down the line. Assuming everything is good, you can just reinsert that elbow and reattach it as needed. Most times it is a clog in the elbow of the downspout that is causing the issue. At least that's been my experience of being a homeowner for more than 2 decades. You'll just want to make sure you check every aspect of your gutters and fix it quickly. This one is so important that I included it as item number 3 on my annual home maintenance checklist. And if you want to check that out, hit the QR code at the top of the screen or go to DIYhomemaintenance.com. But for our next item, we've got to head back inside. Failed weather stripping around your exterior doors is one of those home repairs that's easy to ignore because the consequences are pretty invisible. When it fails, it will allow insects into your home, although that's not very invisible, but you will also allow dollars to go flying out your front door in the form of your heating and cooling bill. When you have failed weather stripping, that can equate to up to 15% of your heating and cooling bill. And when you're paying $200 to $400 a month to heat and cool your home, that adds up to real dollars. And replacing this weather stripping is a very inexpensive DIY home repair. To know if you have an issue with your weather stripping, you can feel around the edge of the door when it's windy or cold or hot outside to see if you can feel the air coming through. Also, you'll want to inspect the cracks around the door to see if you can see daylight coming in. If you do see daylight or feel a draft, that's a surefire sign that you need to replace your weather stripping. Now, for most homes made in the past few decades, you have what's called KERF, K-E-R-F weather stripping. All that means is that on the inside of your door jamb, there is a gap that runs ceiling to floor and side to side on your door. That gap is where the weather stripping pushes into. There's a barbed spline on the weather stripping that will fit into that kerf. Now, when you pull your old weather stripping out, you may want to use a flathead screwdriver to pry it out because if it is old and it's dry rot, it will not easily come out. So you may need to pry that old spline out of your door. Once you have it all removed, just measure appropriately to get the proper cuts made on your weather stripping and gently push that new spline into the kerf all the way around your door until you have it in place. Now, if you live in an older home, you may have a compression strip that's on the exterior of your door that is screwed into your door jamb. You'll want to purchase the proper weather stripping for that if you do not have kerf in place. Now, I created a full-length video that goes into more detail on this weather stripping repair, which you can check out in the playlist at the end of this video. But there are also 9 That's 8. Let me do that again. But there are also 9 home maintenance tasks that I bet you're not doing. And for more information on that, click or tap on this video. And until the next time, keep doing it yourself.